Hey everyone, I am so happy because I'm finished with my first semester, just kidding, year of OT school. So that's really exciting. I've been on break now for about 2 weeks, and so I thought it was time to do a reflections video about how my first year went in OT school. And to be honest, the first year of OT school was so different than I originally thought it was going to be. I know that, I looked at what courses I would be taking at my school prior to going to my school, but for some reason, I don't think I realized how much of my program was just foundational in the first year. We did have a little bit of intervention and practicing transfers and a little bit of splinting and small things scattered here and there. But really the first year at my school was almost entirely just kind of making sure you had a really good foundation and understood the principles behind occupational therapy. So understanding how the anatomy of the body works so that when you are implementing an intervention, you know the reasoning behind the intervention. Or things like we had neuro and understanding what parts of the brain affect different parts of the body. And so when you're doing interventions, are you targeting something in the brain? Are you targeting something in the peripheral nervous system? Things like that. So it was a lot of really understanding that basic foundational knowledge. And I guess, I don't know, I just really didn't realize how much of that there would be in my program. I'm kind of glad that we had that though, because I don't think I knew nearly as much as I do now. I remember at the beginning of orientation, a couple of the professors saying, you're going to finish your, I don't know if they said your first year or the whole program, but you're going to feel like you haven't learned anything. And I kind of sometimes get that feeling like, what have I learned? But at the same time, there have been moments where someone in my family has called me. So my mom called me a couple weeks ago and was asking me about this medical condition she's having. And I actually kind of was able to figure out what was going on and knew enough of the anatomy of the body to be able to get a good understanding, or at least a basic understanding of what issues she was having. And I thought that was kind of cool. So that's happened a couple times actually, where people have been talking to me about some health-related issue and I actually have an understanding of what's going on, whereas there's no way I would have any idea a year ago what in the world was going on with them. So that's one thing that's really exciting. It's kind of cool to see. The other thing is I definitely have been exposed to a lot more of how the environment works in playing a role in the person, and in a person's ability to accomplish something. We did have a whole class for 2 semesters on this, and I guess prior to OT school I never really thought about the implications the environment can have on how well someone's able to function. But now I really feel like I have a good understanding of being able to assess the environment and see what issues there are in the environment. I don't know that I think I could make a couple recommendations at this point. I don't know that I'm at all, an expert in the area, but I feel like I at least have a basic understanding of that, which is really nice. And then the other thing this year that was big is we have been introduced to a lot of assessments. And so although I don't know any interventions yet, and that's going to come up next semester. We're starting working towards interventions. I will, at this point, I can kind of run some assessments and see where problem areas potentially might be. So I do know that at least, so that's kind of exciting. But yeah, I guess I didn't think at the end of my first year that I would walk away with the type of knowledge that I have right now. I think I assumed that I would know a lot more interventions my first year, and at my program, that's just not the case. That's more the focus of our second year, and our first year is more making sure we know the theory and all that stuff behind interventions. That's one big difference about this year. As far as how hard or how easy it was, definitely the first semester was not bad at all as far as difficulty level. The second and third semesters have been pretty intense at my program. There's definitely been a lot of assignments and a lot of work to do, and we're really starting to get involved in our research projects in our lab, and so that's very time consuming. And over summer I'm trying to hopefully get a little bit of that done. But I don't know. It's definitely been a lot more challenging than first semester. I think manageable, but you have to be very, very on top of your game and making sure that you're not missing anything and just staying on top of deadlines, or I could see how it could become very unmanageable quickly, at least at my school. So that's how I feel about the whole difficulty ease of the thing. Overall, I'm very happy with my program at this point in time. There are certain aspects that maybe I'm not as happy with, but I love my classes for the most part. I have some amazing professors that really, really know what they're doing, and there are people at my school that aren't professors, like the faculty and the staff, and they are just so helpful and have been just really great and really easy, very approachable, very easy to talk to. So that's wonderful. The students in my class are amazing, and I have a very large class, so it's just great hearing, everyone's different perspectives. Sometimes a bit challenging because you completely disagree with them, so that's a whole obstacle in and of itself. But overall, it's like a great group of students with a ton of experience, people who have done amazing things with their lives already. There are people who are extremely passionate about certain areas and certain aspects, and it's just so exciting and interesting to hear from them and to learn about them. And then there's people who come from just completely different backgrounds than me. So I really, truly like my student body a lot. I think it's great, and it's been a wonderful experience. So overall, I'd say I've had a really good first year. I am excited to see what happens with the second year and if it becomes more difficult or more manageable. And I'm looking forward to next semester because I'm so excited about interventions and really kind of figuring out how to make a plan to really help a patient and progress, with the patient. And I'm really excited about that next stage in the learning. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the classes meet my expectations. I'll definitely keep you updated about that. I hope if you finished your first year or second year or even third year, depending on what type of program you're in, I hope that you had a great year. Feel free to share your experience down below. I'd love to read it. I hope you're having a great day. Bye.